Being lazy typically has a negative connotation, but did you know Bill Gates said it's actually a good thing to be lazy? He's quoted as saying, if you have a hard job, the best thing to do is go hire a lazy person to do it. And the reason is that lazy person will find the easiest way to get it done. And so if you're lazy, just know that you have a good chance at working at Microsoft. But the reason you're watching this video is because I'm gonna show you how you can make $5,000 a month in the laziest ways possible. And in fact, I'm gonna give you 5 different ways to do it. So let's jump into number 1. This one is something one of my employees actually told me about because it was a job he used to do before he worked for me. And that is becoming a test subject. Now some of you might be sitting there, what do you mean becoming a test subject? It sounds like a movie. But no, I'm serious. There are a ton of companies out there looking for people to test their products or to do different research studies for them, and they'll pay you pretty handsomely. There are makeup companies that want girls to test their makeup and see what kind of reactions their skin has to it. There are companies that want to test different medications. Now look, that sounds really risky to me, and I'm not saying you should go do it, but if you're looking for the laziest way to make money, that's one of them. I've also seen where these companies will pay you to go to sleep. They want to do different tests on you when you sleep and observe you and see how you do. And personally, I don't think it gets any more lazy than that, just getting paid to sleep. That's like the ultimate lazy person's dream. On my channel, I want to teach you how to make money while you sleep, but that's typically through investments and businesses, not literally getting paid to sleep. But instead of me telling you about these things, let's go talk to Michael and see what he actually did and how much he got paid. All right, so how long were you a test subject for?
I was about a year, a little over a year.
Okay, how much do you think you made during that time?
Probably close to 30,000.
30 grand
Yeah.
in a year. Like, tell me about one of the studies you did.
So one of the studies, it was about a week long, and they tested attention deficit disorder medicine on me. And they withdrew my blood like 30 times in 12 hours. So it was like every 30 minutes almost.
So you were just taking Adderall?
Basically like a generic form of it.
Okay, what else were you doing?
So there was another research study. I think it was for ADD as well. And that
Do you
was,
have ADD?
I don't, no,
Why
I
did
don't.
they keep picking you for this?
It was just a common form of medication.
Okay, all right. So what else happened?
That one was a lot shorter. It was like 3 days and it paid like $800.
$800 for 3
Yeah.
days of work. What was another one?
Another one was skin patch. For smokers. Even though I didn't smoke, they put a patch on your skin just to see how your skin reacted to it.
Okay, how long was that?
That was 2 days.
And how much did it pay?
$1,500.
$1,500 for 2 days?
For 2 days,
I'll
yeah.
wear a patch for 2 days to make $1,500.
Yeah.
So as you guys can see, being a test subject can make you some serious coin. I don't know if I'll be taking pills for money, but you know, it's easy. Lazy job number 2 is to become a bird dog. All a bird dog does is find deals for other people. Now, some of you guys watching my channel have heard about wholesaling and how you can just find deals and assign the contract to other investors like myself. But there's a big difference. If you're gonna wholesale on your own, you're typically having to do everything yourself. You gotta go do the marketing, you've gotta lock up the contract, you've gotta find the buyer, you've gotta negotiate a bunch of things. That's how it works. But if you're gonna go be a bird dog, it's a little less strenuous than that. For my bird dogs, all we have them do is just send us leads. So how it would work is you'd have somebody you know that wants to sell a house, or maybe there's a vacant property that you've seen in your neighborhood, and you would just tell us about it. You're not having to negotiate the deal or lock up the contract or look up comps. You don't have to do any of that. Just send us the lead and let us do the work. We can go negotiate. We can go lock up the contract. We'll go buy it and fix it up and flip it. And in turn, for giving us the lead, you're gonna get paid a fee. Now this fee varies. It just really depends on how good the deal is and how much work we have to do. I can tell you, we have paid bird dog fees in excess of $5,000. So just imagine, if you gave someone like me a lead that ended up turning into a deal every single month, you could easily make over $5,000 a month not doing much. So this is a really lazy way to make good money. But here's the caveat. You're not gonna get rich being a bird dog. At some point, you're gonna have to start becoming a wholesaler yourself, or you're gonna have to become a flipper. And if you wanna do either of those things, I have a mastermind coming up here in Las Vegas on September 30th through October 2nd. I'll be showing you the blueprint of my business, and it's gonna be a great time to network and meet other investors. And you'll probably end up meeting an investor that you may wholesale a deal to, or buy a deal from, or maybe even bird dog if that's how you wanna start. So I'll link to that down below in the description for that event. But I'd highly recommend just networking with other investors in your area and seeing if you can bird dog for them and send them leads. I tell people we'll give them at least $1,000 if we close the lead on the worst case. But if it ends up being a home run, they're gonna make a lot more than $5,000. But let's jump into lazy way to make money number 3, which is thrift shopping.
What?
Now, realistically, you could combine couch flipping or furniture flipping or any type of flipping in this category. But for this video, I want to talk about thrift shopping because it's something that I think is really cool and unique. All you would have to do is go to your local Goodwill or Salvation Army. You could even go to Ross or Marshall's and look for discounted clothes. There are so many apps out there right now that'll tell you what these clothes are selling for on websites like eBay or StockX or even Amazon. And over time, as you start thrift shopping and looking for these clothes, you'll start to realize how much these things sell for. In fact, I did a Flip Nation video on sneaker flipping, and many of these people who flip sneakers will simply just go to the outlet mall. They'll go over to the Nike outlet or the Adidas outlet and go buy all of the shoes on the clearance section. And the reason is a lot of those shoes aren't being made anymore in the outlet. And so for people who want to buy them, they have no choice but to go on eBay if that's the shoe they want. And many times you can go sell it for retail or possibly more. But at the outlet, you're getting it for even less. So you might be able to double your money on the right shoe. And you have all of them available to you right there. So you might as well go buy 10, 20, or even 100 pairs of shoes if they let you. But in general, I think going for clothes and shoes is a great way to make $5,000 a month really easily. But you could also just go the route that I went and just look for deals on Craigslist with furniture like couches or even appliances. I've proven that works and it's not that hard. And I've seen enough videos on YouTube with people couch flipping to know that yes, even today, it still works nationwide. It really just depends what you want to be an expert in. Clothes and shoes are pretty easy, but you can also become an expert in furniture. You could be an expert in flipping Pokemon cards. The list goes on and on. But that's a very lazy way to make $5,000 a month on top of whatever else you're doing. Now let's jump into number 4, which is to become a private lender. If you have no money, then this one is not gonna apply to you. But if you've saved up even just $10,000, you can make some money by lending it to someone else. So let's talk about real estate for a second, since that's the first one that comes to mind. If you have money, you're gonna wanna lend it to somebody that you trust. Preferably somebody who's got experience, who's flipped houses, and you know is gonna get you your money back. Now what that return looks like is purely up to you as the lender and them as the flipper. Maybe you're gonna lend them $200,000 at an interest rate. And for easy numbers, let's just say it's 12%. That means you're gonna be making $2,000 a month on your $200,000. But you could also charge other fees like points. And so maybe you charge the flipper 2 points. Well, that means you're gonna make $4,000 on top of that in just fees. So in month number 1, you'll have made $6,000 on your money. But there's also other ways that you can structure these private lending deals. You can go to the flipper and say, hey, look, I'm gonna fund everything, but we're gonna split the profits 50-50. Well, let's say in the same scenario, you fund the deal at $200,000. It takes the flipper about 4 months to do the deal. And then they had a profit of $50,000. Well, if you guys split that $50,000, you just made $25,000 in 4 months, which means you made over $6,000 a month with very little work. Private lending is pretty much the laziest way to make money. In fact, my dream is to make so much money that all I am is a private lender down the road. If I can lend on these deals that I'm talking about, I'll be very happy because I'm not doing much other than finding a good flipper that I trust. But let's just say you don't have hundreds of thousands of dollars, but you saved up $10,000 or $20,000. Well, there are still a ton of things that you can lend on and make money. Instead of finding a house flipper, maybe you're gonna go find somebody that flips cars. And with the $20,000, they can go buy a few cars and then you end up splitting the profit together. In fact, one of my employees wanted to do just that. He needed the money to fund it. He was gonna go out, find all the cars, fix them up, and then we were gonna split the profits. I lent him $10,000, and then after a couple of weeks, he flipped a couple cars and we made money together. But maybe you don't wanna do cars. Maybe you wanna get into other things. Well, why not fund the couch flippers or the thrift shoppers or any type of hustler who's out there making money? When somebody's out hustling, typically they need funding to take it to the next level. And so if you've got that $10,000 or $20,000 and you're able to help them grow their business, you can make a lot of money not doing much. So I love private lending if that's something you're able to do. But let's jump into lazy way number 5, which I think is the laziest way to make over 5 grand a month. And also it has the most upside, I feel like. And that is to marry someone rich. I'm like kind of joking on that one because if you marry the right person, you can make a lot more than $5,000 a year doing nothing. But no, the real number 5 is e-commerce automation. Many of you know I've got a company called Lunar Ecom where we can do Walmart automation or Amazon automation for you. And I was always a skeptic of this business model until I actually got a store for myself. And I can tell you, after seeing my own store success and then managing other people's stores and seeing their success, it is legit. And it is by far the laziest way to make money. And in fact, we've already had Walmart automation stores that have net over $5,000 in their very first month. And if you go to lunarecom.com and watch the case study there, you'll see that I've never promised anybody to expect results in the first few months. Typically, it takes a while to scale your store. But with Walmart automation, things are moving a lot quicker than they are with Amazon, so it's a pretty crazy time. Now, obviously with this one, there is some risk. There's a high upfront cost, and you also are gonna need a lot of cash or credit in order to fund the store. But if you're willing to accept those things, it is the holy grail of making lazy money. And when you actually think about it, it's probably less risky than being a test subject and taking pills for a pharmaceutical company. But anyways, those are my top 5 lazy ways to make 5,000 bucks a month. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, do me a big favor, hit the like button, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.